You know, we all have those little driving habits we barely even think about. But what if some of those quirks are actually silent killers for your car? I'm talking about things that feel totally harmless, but are secretly setting you up for some massive, and I mean massive, unexpected repair bills. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how much these little habits are costing you. So let me just ask you straight up, are your daily driving habits secretly wrecking your car and your wallet? Stick with me, because by the end of this, you're not just going to have the answer, you'll have a super simple playbook to stop the damage and save yourself potentially thousands. So here's the game plan. First, we'll look at the real cost of these habits. Then we'll dive into two major engine killers and a couple of transmission nightmares. After that, we'll meet the fuel pump's #1 enemy. And to wrap it all up, I'll give you a simple checklist so you can put all this into action right away. Okay, let's start with the big picture here. We are not talking about accidents or some huge, obvious mistake. No, this is all about the quiet, slow burn damage that comes from tiny habits you probably don't even realize you're doing. Exactly. And the craziest part is how this damage just adds up over time. It's completely silent, right up until the moment a mechanic hands you a repair bill that makes your jaw hit the floor. But here's the good news. Almost all of this is totally preventable. All right, let's dive right in and meet our first two culprits. These are two habits that go straight for the heart of your car, the engine. Okay, look at these two. The cold start dash. That's just pure impatience. So picture this. Overnight, all the oil in your engine settles down into the pan. Gravity, right? If you jump in and immediately rev the engine or drive off hard, you're basically grinding metal on metal before that oil has a chance to get everywhere it needs to be. And then there's lugging the engine. You know that awful shuddering, vibrating feeling when you're in like 5th gear going 30? That's not just a weird sound. That's your engine under incredible stress. Enough stress to literally crack a piston. And would you just look at the cost? We are not talking about pocket change here. The cold start dash can lead to an engine overhaul that could cost you up to 1,50,000 rupees. Lugging the engine? That's not far behind, with repairs easily hitting $1,20,000. I mean, those are staggering numbers for such simple little mistakes. So, how do we fix this? Well, it's almost laughably simple. For the cold starts, just wait. Give it 30 to 60 seconds. That's it. That's all the time your oil needs to get moving. And to stop lugging, just listen to your car. If it sounds like it's struggling and groaning, downshift. Your engine will be so much happier at a slightly higher RPM in the right gear. All right, so we've covered the engine. Now, let's talk about the transmission, that incredibly complex and, you guessed it, incredibly expensive system that actually makes your car go. Here are our next two nightmares. For all you automatic drivers, it's shifting while moving. Come on, we've all done it. Backing out in a hurry, and you throw it into drive while you're still rolling backward. But here's the thing. When you do that, you're literally using your delicate, expensive transmission gears as brakes. Not good. And for my manual drivers, the big one is riding the clutch. Just casually resting your foot on the pedal. Even that tiny bit of pressure creates constant friction, and you're basically burning your clutch away mile after mile. And the cost here, it's just staggering. Damaging your automatic transmission this way can land you a 2 lakh rupee repair bill. That is absolutely catastrophic. And even for manual drivers, riding the clutch can easily cost you 30,000 rupees for a new one. Ouch. And again, the fixes are just so simple it hurts. For automatic cars, just come to a complete stop before you shift. That's it. Let your cheap, easy-to-replace brake pads do their job, not your priceless transmission. And for you manual drivers, you see that little footrest to the left of the clutch? That's called the dead pedal. Use it. That's literally what it's there for. Your wallet will thank you. All right, our last bad habit is one I think pretty much everyone is guilty of at some point. Driving with the fuel light on, trying to squeeze out every last possible kilometer. Yeah, this is all about constantly letting your tank get down to fumes. It might feel like you're saving a few minutes by putting off a trip to the pump, but what you're really doing is trading a quick stop for a very, very expensive visit to the mechanic. So here's what's actually going on inside your fuel tank. Your fuel pump sits submerged in the gasoline, and it actually uses that fuel to stay cool. When the fuel level gets super low, the pump starts to overheat. And to make matters worse, it also starts sucking up all the gunk and sediment that naturally settles at the bottom of the tank. That junk then clogs up your fuel system and burns out the pump motor. And the end result of all that? A fried fuel pump and clogged injectors. Fixing that whole mess can easily set you back 25,000 rupees. That is a steep, steep price to pay for just pushing your luck a few extra kilometers. The solution here is all about a simple shift in your mindset. From this day forward, just think of the quarter tank mark on your fuel gauge as your new empty. That's it. Make it a hard and fast rule to never let the needle drop below that point.
Okay, so we've seen the problems, we've seen the scary costs. Now let's pull it all together into one simple checklist that flips these expensive habits into smart savings.
Here it is, your 5 smart habits for a healthier car and a fatter wallet. Number 1, warm up for 30-60 seconds before driving hard. 2, downshift when you feel the engine struggle. 3, stop completely before shifting from reverse to drive. 4, keep your foot on the dead pedal, not the clutch. And 5, keep your fuel tank above a quarter full. Seriously, mastering these 5 things can literally save you lakhs over the life of your car. So what it comes down to is this. The power is literally at your feet and in your hands. Looking back at that list, which one of those simple little changes are you going to commit to, starting today? Which one is going to be your first step to saving thousands? Really think about it.